Before you scroll, before you move on to another short, another reel, another distraction, just stop. Because what you're about to hear might just be the wisdom you've been waiting for. You've heard it all your life. Silence is golden. If you don't have anything nice to say nothing at all. But what if silence isn't always golden? What if your silence is the very thing holding you back? Hurting someone you care about? Betraying your principles? This isn't just another motivational video. This is a Stoic call to action. For truth. For courage. For virtue. You're watching Stoic and Facts, where we bring ancient wisdom into the fire of modern life. If you've ever stayed silent when your soul screamed to speak, if you've ever walked away from a moment and thought, why didn't I say something? Then this video is for you. Like this video to send this wisdom into someone else's timeline. Subscribe to join the Stoic path, one grounded not in passivity, but purpose. Part 1. When truth is under attack. Imagine this. You're in a group chat. Someone says something cruel, a false accusation. It spreads like wildfire. You know the truth, but you say nothing. Not my business. I don't want to get involved. They'll figure it out. But in that moment, your silence becomes agreement. The Stoics taught that silence is only a virtue when it serves virtue. When it becomes a cover for fear or laziness, it's a vice. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what good man should be one." That means standing for truth, even when it's uncomfortable. Especially then. The world doesn't need more silence. It needs more people brave enough to speak the truth. Lesson number 1, speak when truth is being twisted, because silence here is betrayal. Part 2, when someone is being harmed. You're in high school again. A kid sits alone, bullied, mocked, shoved. Everyone sees it. No one says a word. And you remember, you were one of the silent ones. That silence haunts you more than anything you ever said. To the Stoics, justice is one of the 4 cardinal virtues, and justice demands action, not violence, not anger, but intervention. Epictetus taught, what is the fruit of these teachings? A mind that is fearless and free. You cannot be free while others are crushed, while you watch in silence. Today it might not be a schoolyard. It might be a coworker shamed in a meeting, a stranger on the subway being mistreated, a loved one manipulated behind closed doors. You don't have to be loud. You just have to be brave. Lesson number 2, speak when others are suffering in silence, because your voice might be their only protection. Part 3, when your values are being compromised, it's subtle at first. Your manager bends the numbers. Your friend makes a cruel joke. A family member says something hateful. You laugh along, smile, stay quiet. But each time, something inside you dies a little. The Stoics believe your values are sacred, not because they're trendy, but because they are who you truly are. Seneca once said, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." This is that adversity, not a battlefield, not a duel, but a quiet room where your soul is on the line. You don't have to shout. You don't have to argue. You just have to say, I don't agree with that. That's not right. Lesson number 3, speak when your values are under pressure, because silence is the first step towards surrender. Part 4, when you've made a mistake. You said something hurtful. You ghosted someone who didn't deserve it. You made a mistake. And now you say nothing. You wait. You hope time will heal it. But time without truth only buries guilt deeper. The Stoics weren't about perfection, they were about progress. Marcus Aurelius didn't write his meditations to boast. He wrote them to confront himself. Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. That means apologizing, admitting fault, owning the wound you caused. In a world addicted to pride, saying I was wrong is revolutionary. Lesson number 4, speak when you've fallen short, because healing begins where silence ends. Part 5, when your voice can help. Maybe you've been through something hard, depression, abuse, failure, loss, and you survived. You learned, you grew, but now you keep it inside thinking, no one wants to hear this. You're wrong. Someone right now is going through what you barely made it out of, and your story could be their lifeline. The Stoics didn't talk just to talk. They spoke to serve. Epictetus said, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Sometimes embodying it means having the courage to speak your truth. Lesson number 5, speak when your voice could lift another soul, because silence is not humility when it hides healing. Part 6, when you're shrinking to be liked. You play it safe. Keep opinions quiet. Don't rock the boat. You silence your dreams, your beliefs, your true self, all to fit in. The worst prison is the one built by our fear of judgment. The Stoics believed in freedom of the soul, not through rebellion, but through authenticity. Marcus Aurelius challenged himself daily to live in accordance with reason and nature. And nature made you to stand, not shrink. Your silence doesn't keep the peace. It creates war inside. Lesson number 6, speak when you're hiding to be accepted, because nothing real grows in the shadows. Silence is sacred when chosen by wisdom, but silence, chosen by fear, is dangerous. The Stoics knew the difference. They didn't speak often, but when they did, it echoed through centuries. You don't need to raise your voice. You just need to raise your standard. In a world full of noise, be the voice of reason, of justice, of courage. This is Stoic in facts. If this message struck something deep inside, don't leave it here. Drop a comment. Which moment reminded you of a time you stayed silent and regretted it? Let's talk in the comments. Let's grow together. Like this video if it gave you clarity. Subscribe if you're ready to walk the Stoic path. And remember, the time to be silent is over.